What's up, y'all? Hey, thanks for joining again. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, the thumbs up, leave a comment. We're going to watch this video from Billy Carson. Billy Carson posted a video a while ago, but it's titled Battle of the God and the Gods, Religious Texts as a Weapon. But he states in here Jesus said stuff that Jesus never said, and he lies about Jesus. We're going to see that. We wish that he would make a video correcting himself. Here's the video. Almost 400,000 views, and he lied to all those people. It has about 12,000 thumbs up. He has misled all these people concerning what Jesus Christ himself taught, and we're going to watch.
Who will drop to their knees and start praying thinking it's Jesus Christ returning, when Jesus never said he was returning.
Jesus did say that he was returning.
Jesus never said he was coming back.
Jesus did say that he was coming back.
He said the Christ would return.
Jesus is the Christ. He said that to the Samaritan woman at the well. He said that when Peter affirmed it in Matthew chapter 16, when he said, "Who do men say that I, the Son of Man, am?" And he said, "You are the Christ, the Son of the living God." And he said, "Blessed are you, Peter, because man, flesh and blood has not revealed this to you, but my Father which is in heaven." Jesus is the Christ. When you say Jesus, what do you say? Jesus Christ. Why? Because Jesus is the Christ.
And the Christ existed long before he was even born.
Jesus had a conversation with his Jewish opponents, those who rejected him, and he was talking about the Christ, and he said, "Whose son is the Christ?" And they said, "The son of David." Well, Jesus said that the Christ cannot be the son of David because the Christ was the Lord of David. And what that means is that the Christ is God, and therefore he's not only the son of David, he's also the son of God. The Christ was divine, having existed in the nature of God before being born. And so he's saying that Jesus talked about the Christ as if he wasn't a Christ. That's not true. There's only one Christ. Jesus even said there's only one Christ. He says there's only one Christ. He said that in Matthew chapter 23. There's only one.
It's the Christ consciousness. Before Jesus, there were many Christs.
This man has no clue what the Bible teaches. The Bible does not teach that. They were waiting for the Messiah. Read John chapter 4. The Samaritans were waiting for the coming of the Messiah, which is the Christ. Now, if the Christ is already there, what are they waiting for?
It's a understanding, a level of thinking, a way of ascending to a higher level of knowledge and wisdom and understanding about.
Okay, well, he's using all these big words, and guess what? He is supposedly saying that he has attained to this knowledge, this elevated knowledge, and therefore what? He would be the Christ? So is Billy Carson the Christ then? If he has this elevated knowledge, he would say, "I would have Christ consciousness." He's not the Christ. Jesus said the Christ would return. What? Billy Carson has the mind of Christ. Is Billy Carson the second coming or what? You know what I mean? That doesn't even make sense. Jesus said the Christ would return, and he's saying, well, anyone who actually has that knowledge is the Christ. What are you talking about?
About yourself internally, and then on the outside, the world as a whole. And understanding that there are levels to ascension, and being born again has to do strictly with raising your consciousness to a higher level than it was before.
We're going to talk about that next time. That is totally not true. Being born again is a reference to being forgiven under the New Testament. Jesus made that clear. The New Testament makes that clear when they talk about being born again, being made alive together with Jesus. That's a rebirth. You're being brought back to spiritual life. And this man says being born again is a reference to raising and ascending your level of consciousness. And we're going to listen to what he says more about this in the next one. But that's just not true. He's lying about what the Bible teaches. And it's people like this who have misled at least 12,000 people who hit a thumbs up. And those people are going to mislead other people. Look, 400,000 people have been misled because of this one man. That shows how much influence one man has. And you have to be careful who's teaching you, because one man misled 400,000 people. And this video that I make is not going to reach anywhere near 400,000 people to make them unlearn what they learned from this man. This man's a false teacher. He's lying about Jesus. He's lying about the teachings of Jesus, and he's lying about the Bible. What do you think? Leave a comment below. You agree with him? You disagree with him? He said the second coming is a reference to Christ consciousness, and there's been many Christs, and that Jesus taught he wasn't the Christ, and he taught about being born again and said being born again. We're going to see in the next video, he says being born again is something that can happen over and over and over again. You can be born again and again and again. We're going to see that in the next video. So what are your thoughts, though, so far about this man? You think he's lying? You think he's telling the truth? I think he's lying, and I have the Bible verses to back it up. Jesus spoke first. He spoke second. Jesus spoke first. Billy Carson spoke second. Billy Carson is saying stuff Jesus never said. So Jesus is telling the truth, not Billy Carson.